Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of the Sakuga Builds cast. I am Daniel Lewa, joined by my co-host Methuselah.
As ever.
As ever, we have some interesting stuff to talk about today regarding Lego and video games. But first, minifigure of the week. I am going to go with Wrecker from the Bad Batch. There isn't
Wow.
any sort of new mold or anything on this, but the printing is spot on, and they made good use out of the existing parts and helmet and just printed on top of it with the cool tusks and everything. And he's really awesome. They could have maybe made him a little bulkier, but I think he is a great figure from the Bad Batch.
If only it was a good TV show, that's all we can ask for. I also have a TV show character, The Punisher. In honor, I just watched both seasons of The Punisher on Netflix. And yeah, really good minifigure. He actually has some detail on the back as well. Classic. Really awesome. John Bernthal has carried that show. It's not the greatest show, but he definitely fits that role, the main character. So, anyways, wow. We just got leaks on leaks, huh, Daniel? Leaks on Lego leaks. Let's scroll through Brickset today. How about?
No need to scroll through Brickset, but if you can pull it up if you want. If you haven't heard already, the three main things were announced this week. We'll just briefly touch on them before we get into our main topic of the day. First is Boba Fett sets, including Boba Fett's throne room, which is directly based off of the post-credits scene from Mandalorian Season 2, the final episode. So you get a lot of cool stuff in this set, and it's a pretty ugly build if you ask me, but the figures are amazing, and I might want it just because of that, but it's pretty cool. What do you think?
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely cool. Like for the Mos Eisley Cantina, there's some more characters. I don't have a Gamorrean guard, but honestly, now that we heard about some of the other Star Wars sets coming out, I think I'm gonna hang on to my wallet for a little longer and not get this. So it's cool looking, I guess. Bib Fortuna's cool, but it's not like crazy by any means. Then what was the next one? The N1 Starfighter.
Yeah, which as soon as they put this in the show, it was so obvious. It was purely for marketing reasons. If you haven't seen Book of Boba Fett yet, you should. It's fun Star Wars. It's not amazing by any means, but it has a lot of really cool stuff in it. But adding the Mandalorian in this Naboo fighter was just like, this is just the perfect merchandising opportunity. I was just shocked at how fast Lego put it out, because usually it takes them a year or so to get anything out from something that's currently airing. So the fact that this is coming out June 1st is just wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. That means they had the pre-conceptual artwork. They knew BD1 was going to be in it and everything. So that is a cool set. I don't think it's for me, but I definitely appreciate it. Like how nice it looks. Get the Peli Motto, the BD1, Mando with the dark saber, which is not a dark saber. I'm sorry, that looks nothing like on my Moff Gideon on display. I have him with the black katana, like just a plain black ninja katana. Looks like 10 times more like the dark saber.
Yeah.
But other than that's literally my only complaint. Like I think the set looks awesome. Like even the little back seat in the back of the cockpit, little headrest. This looks really, really, really cool. But the third one, I don't know if was this officially announced or was it just leaked?
Yeah, it's on Lego.com this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn, Tallneck. Okay. This is what it looks
more
like.
More specifically
guys.
based off of the sequel Horizon Forbidden West, which is coming out in a couple weeks.
So yeah, I've never played this game, so I'm definitely, I don't know if the word's biased or unbiased, that I'm not that interested in it. I think it does look cool, and I think the minifigure is really cool. Her minifigure hair is like, I think it's a brand new piece with a dual molded like translucent thing on the side of her. So I'm not excited about this set, but I think Daniel and I are both excited for what this set means, I guess.
Exactly.
Which will bring us into our topic, but what do you think?
I agree. I think it's a beautiful looking build, and it's so interesting that they chose to go the 18 plus route because so many people who are quote unquote gamers who play this kind of game are under 18. And plenty of kids, I'm sure, have played Horizon Zero Dawn. Plenty of kids play, these kinds of video games, and so angling it towards a more collector's market and towards a more displayable market, people who want those kinds of displayable collector's items for their desk is very interesting. But I think it's awesome because, like you're saying, what this means for Lego and video game properties going forward, kind of a unique property. It's not a Nintendo property. It's a Sony first party game, and having that kind of partnership, even if it is just a one-off set that's done so beautifully well with an amazing looking minifigure, is hopefully indicative of a future where we see more beautiful sets like this from Lego.
Yeah, because it's like displayable and it's playable. I think it covers because they included the minifigure, they included the little robot, and they contained it all to this one platform to make it displayable as well. I feel like if I was a fan of this game, this would be for sure a purchase, but I just don't know what it is because I never played this game. Which brings us to the games that we have played. We got Sonic, we got Overwatch, we have Horizon. So I guess it's not Horizon Zero Dawn, it's Horizon Forbidden West. So we have Horizon. Is there any other video games I'm missing?
Minecraft,
yeah, I forget about that because it's a whole theme at this point. But we have our top 10 video game characters that we would like to see in Lego format. So probably like as a minifigure, and also like I think everyone on our list could have a cool set with them as well, like the majority of them. But we both chose 5, and we're just gonna go through this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pass the mic to Daniel.
Okay, so I'll start with the obvious one, and then we can get into some more interesting choices later. This is just something fans have wanted for years: Legend of Zelda Lego, and specifically Link minifigures. I don't know how many times I've seen fake links online or at farmers markets where people are trying to sell fake Link minifigures. It's on Ideas. Almost every single Lego Ideas review period, there's a Legend of Zelda Hyrule Castle or set with Link minifigure, Zelda minifigure that gets rejected, and it's just so sad. And it's like we get Horizon Forbidden West before Link. They already have a partnership with Nintendo. It's just baffling. But here's hoping that one day, maybe when Breath of the Wild 2 finally comes out, that they'll be like, oh, we can be making more than the $1 billion profit we made last year. We'll make $2 billion by making Legend of Zelda minifigures. And so I think a Link from any timeline, any game, whether it's Breath of the Wild or Twilight Princess or anything, would be so amazing. You could have so many cool new parts, hair pieces, accessories, everything. Yeah, this is just something. There's so many things you could do for a set for him to be in. He could be in a Hyrule Castle. He could be in one of the big towers, the Sheikah Towers in Breath of the Wild. Any of the Divine Beasts. How amazing would having the 4 Divine Beasts 18 plus sets on display be? I don't know. That's just me, but
Wow, that would be so awesome to have the 4 Divine Beasts on display. Nobody knows what that is. What is that?
Anybody who's played Breath of the Wild would know and would appreciate that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, it is long overdue, and I think there's more that meets the eye. It's not like Lego's not doing it. It's like there's negotiations, and Nintendo's like, oh, we want to do something interesting and unique. We don't just want to have display sets, some crap like that. So that brings me to my first pick, which is long overdue. We are still in the Super Smash Bros. Category. Samus Iran, the female bounty hunter. Like, credit to L-DI-EGO on Lego Ideas. They have on the bottom left. They made this Samus Aran mock-up minifigure, but you could just see the potential there. And just having like a Samus Aran ship, like her ship in Lego form with her, maybe some of her villains, I don't know, would just be wow. And yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with Metroid Dread that just came out. I think Metroid and Samus are having a resurgence in terms of popularity. And with Metroid Prime 4 allegedly coming in the somewhat near future, this could be a time to kind of get on this as well. Such a beloved character, and just has a lot of minifig potential and set potential, right? Like you're saying, with all of her villains and all of her ships and wild planets that she's and creatures that she's had to fight.
I feel like everyone would just buy that so fast. Anyways, what do you have for your number 2?
I have Zagreus from Hades, one of my favorite games. It's so much fun, and it's a little different of a game. It's hard, but it's really exciting. And Zagreus is an amazing protagonist. He's not totally a blank slate, and you can make friends and relationships along the way with the people and the Olympic gods that you meet. And he's just a cool looking character. I mean, imagine that kind of hairpiece. It's Greek mythology. It's fine. But imagine that hairpiece with like the red and gold leaves on the side and everything, with the Cerberus everything on the side. I don't know. I think it would be a really different kind of minifigure to have. And you could say maybe it's a little too violent, but the game itself doesn't glorify gore or anything. It's pretty accessible, so this would be just so much fun. And there could be a lot of things you could do with this in a set as well, as far as like including other Olympic gods or just including some of the creature builds.
I don't know about I don't know about this one. Like, I could see it would be a cool minifigure, but as far as it actually happening, I could actually see this one happening more than some of the ones on this list as like a Lego Ideas set, actually.
More than Link at this rate, maybe.
Speaking of indie games and violence, my second pick is one of my top 3 video games of all time, Cuphead. Everybody knows it. It's a phenomenon, and it's awesome. This might be skirting the line of too satanic, because Cuphead does fight the devil at the end of the game. I don't know if they're trying to get into that, but like this mock-up here by Pablo Bricks on Lego Ideas, it's just a Floral Fury level with the evil flower that you're fighting, and you can kind of see the potential for a Cuphead minifigure there. I think it would be a really cool idea set, and it's really like, you don't need a whole theme, you don't need multiple sets, you really just need one set: Cuphead, Mugman, and like one of their bosses. You don't have to include the devil or anybody else. I am biased, this is one of my favorite video games, but it could be a cool Lego idea set.
Oh yeah, this would be so crazy. I'm not exactly sure how they would make him in a minifig, maybe with the short legs or medium legs and some custom molded headpiece or something, but it would be very unique. And I don't think it would be too edgy. I mean, Lego they've delved into some more adult content, like with having Daredevil, Blade, and Punisher in the Daily Bugle, which a Cuphead set would lend itself really well to, since it's like a very linear kind of two-dimensional thing. You could have a really cool display piece on a windowsill or something, and be 18 plus, and it'd be just fine. So
kind of like the
pick.
Sonic set where it's kind of 2D and that makes a good display thing. Yeah. I know Cuphead's not as iconic as Sonic, but honestly, he's pretty iconic in the modern day and age. Like, they added this character to Smash as a Mii costume. That's a Japanese game. Like, this character made its way overseas, sold crazy high. Anyways,
And with
that's enough
the
about
Netflix show and everything coming out right now and the new DLC, it's a
Netflix.
perfect time, to get it out
Yeah,
there.
like the Netflix show is gonna be really kid friendly anyway. It's not like they can't make kid friendly toys about it. So this one I could actually see. I don't think it'll happen, but I could see it being something that comes to fruition. What is your number 3 here?
This is Erdrick, or the hero from Dragon Quest. All right, another JRPG.
In
Link isn't
Smash.
really JRPG, but another Smash character, because Smash has all these good characters. It'd be amazing. This is also one that would be really fun. Just all the accessories, cool purple cape, and the spiky hair and everything. If Lego was a Japanese company, I feel like they would have done this already,
Yeah.
because Dragon Quest is just so huge in Japan, and it is such a fun game. At least Dragon Quest 11, which is the only one that I played. Well, and Dragon Quest Builders, but this would be amazing. So many things you could build from the worlds, villains, enemies, etc. You could have multiple different heroes from the different ages. This would be amazing. It would be a little harder to sell this in the West, I think, because of Smash. It's gained some more popularity, Dragon Quest. But imagine, if this sold in Japan, it would go crazy.
I can see this being a cool cool idea set and a cool minifigure for sure. Like, just imagine having a molded slime little piece.
Oh,
It'd be pretty awesome. So yeah, if it's like Dragon Quest is like the first RPG. Like, this is the OG RPG. Everything. So I think this is a good choice on your part, without a doubt. My third one, we are actually deviating away from Super Smash Brothers. And going back to America. Yeah. It's Master Chief. Okay, we all know him and we all love him. Mega Constructs, right? Is it Mega Constructs?
yeah.
They make Halo sets, okay? But everybody knows that nobody does it like Lego. So, if Lego did a Halo, it would be better. We could actually have a Master Chief minifigure. Shout out to Minifigs Factory. They made this little mock-up. I never played Halo until this new Halo Infinite, and it is a fun game, and you just can see the set potential with the vehicles in Halo. It's a first-person shooter, but it has a heavy emphasis on sci-fi vehicles, sci-fi weapons. So the accessories would be cool, and the set would be cool, and the figures would be cool. And it would be cool with the Mega Constructs. So that's why I chose Master Chief.
Yeah, something that is so appealing to a lot of Lego fans, myself and you yourself included, is the standardization of the minifigure. Kind of how, like, some people love Funko Pops and how they all have the similar format, or Bear Brick, or whatever it is. Pokemon cards, it's all, standard. It's nice to collect. And so people who are Lego fans, who love Halo, it would make so much sense to want a Master Chief minifigure, and it would look amazing, I think.
I didn't mention that he's also a gaming icon. When you see this guy, he's just a video gaming icon. So yeah, the standardization, like having a standardized Master Chief minifigure, would be amazing. Speaking of video game icons.
Oh yeah, awesome! It's Mickey Mouse. Can't wait. Oh well, it's Sora, and he's from Kingdom Hearts, and I would say he's pretty iconic. At least maybe some of his earlier designs are more iconic, with his giant hair and everything. You might as well just put an Exoforce, recolor it, kind of a blonde Exoforce rubber hair, and put it on a minifigure, and it's Sora. But I don't know if Kingdom Hearts ever comes back again in a big way after Kingdom Hearts 3. I think this would be a natural fit. Very fun, very easy, very, very kid-friendly. Having a Lego Keyblade would be amazing. We'll probably get a Lego Keyblade before we ever get a Lego Darksaber, but I think a Lego Sora would look really cool. And it would be amazing to have, they've made all of his other people in Lego form already: Donald Duck, Goofy, Mickey, and so having Sora, it would just be awesome when you could kind of remake the whole cast of Kingdom Hearts.
And when you think about it, it's not out of the picture because they made Disney Lego sets. So it's just about getting Square Enix on board at this point. But I think it'd be a cool minifigure as far as set potential. I'm sure there's some sets you could do, but it's not like... I don't think it's as good potential as like Hyrule Castle or Halo, if that makes sense. But granted, I never even played Kingdom Hearts, so...
Yeah.
I could see this maybe happening. I don't know. They got him into Super Smash Bros. Somehow. And...
That was crazy.
Yeah, but this next one that I chose is a shoe-in. Lego Pokemon. Yeah. Who has the rights? Is it Mega Constructs?
Mega Constructs. My goodness.
And some of their sets aren't terrible, but it's like... it's not Lego, obviously. So... I mean, I feel like just for the longest time, like even when Daniel and I were kids, we'd always think of like, oh, what if there was Lego Pokemon? They could have big brick-built legendary Pokemon like Rayquaza, big legendaries, and have smaller molded Pokemon, and have some middle-sized buildable Pokemon with some custom parts. There's just so much potential, and Lego could do it better than anybody else. And it's the biggest video game franchise, something like that. It's one of the biggest of all time. It's so iconic, and that would just and this is, I don't even think this would be like just a one-off set. Like this could be a whole theme, so it's obvious, but I had to choose it.
It would be amazing, and it'd be interesting to see how they would improve upon what Mega Constructs has already done to differentiate themselves. And the nice thing is that Pokemon is evergreen, right? It's not like you have to time your release of a set or something with a specific game for it to do well. Like, you could release it whenever and it'll do well because Pokemon has been going for over 20 years now, and it'll continue going forever. And, I mean, with the new, Gen 9 of Pokemon will probably come out in the next year or two. You could release it along with that, and it would be so amazing. But
well, we have some honorable mentions before our final two. Bottom left, I have Simon Belmont from Castlevania. And not just Simon Belmont, like just Castlevania as a theme in general could have amazing figures and like an amazing... I think that's a good like one-off set, like Dracula's Castle with a bunch of amazing figures.
Yeah, that would be so amazing. So another one is Bilith, and pretty much anyone from Fire Emblem would be cool, but there's so many characters that pretty much all you need is just a Fire Emblem battle pack and just come with a bunch of figures. And they're not even super crazy, maybe a couple new hair pieces and stuff, but it could be a lot of fun. Ori and Hollow Knight are... I don't know how well that would translate because they're not minifig proportioned, really. But you could do more of a smaller molded creature, kind of like what we see with some Star Wars stuff. And it'd be really cute. Those are both just amazing games, and you could really recreate some of the beautiful environments from both of those. Or some of the boss fights would be really cool. And then the last one would be Cal Kestis from Fallen Order. I think is more and more likely. I think it's inevitable. By the time Fallen Order 2 comes out, we could probably see this because we have a BD mold now for the BD droid and the N1 Nabu Starfighter, and it's rumored that a buildable BD1 or BD droid will be coming out this summer. And so, I mean, they just keep building to it. I think it's really likely.
I think I only chose this Castlevania one, but I think Fire Emblem would be too boring. I think Hollow Knight could be a minifigure, like short leg or something. I think Ori could probably not be a minifigure. And I think the most realistic one out of all the ones that we've said so far is probably Cal Kestis to actually happen. And that'd be awesome. Have his ship and the second sister and characters from that video game. So we'll go to Daniel's last pick, which is weird.
How is this weird? This is an amazing character. He's not the deepest character as far as personality or story, but this is Ravenbeak, who's main character. I won't say anything more than that. In Metroid Dread, and his design is just instantly iconic. Everything, the whole metallic Raven Chozo build, and his head is so cool. You could do this as a buildable, kind of built-up figure, because he is, a decent bit bigger than Samus, or just as like a regular minifigure with maybe some sort of new leg mold, or at least a new head or helmet. I don't know. It's so cool, and at some point, slight spoilers, he even has wings that come out, and you could have that in set 2, have wings on him. It's just so iconic. He's a newer character, so it doesn't quite have the history, but I would just love to see this. I love Ravenbeak. He's so cool.
Yeah, I just don't think he's that like, he is really cool looking, but we just mentioned so many like gaming icons,
Yeah.
So I think it should be grouped with Samus. Like, they could be in the same set for sure.
But that's the thing with having the Horizon series represented in Lego and having Aloy, the main character, as a minifigure. I mean, yeah, she's fairly iconic at this point because it's such a popular game, well-received game. But she's not like a legend like Master Chief, Sora, And so the fact that you get an Aloy figure and set, I think opens the door wide open. Maybe not with Nintendo properties, but with other properties, because they'll be like, "Oh, we see you have done, Horizon property and it did well. We want to work with you too." And our next character would be the best of all. Isn't that right, Matt?
Yeah.
Who is it? Who's the number one?
Speaking of iconic, Doomslayer, 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 Doomslayer. Doomslayer, 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 Doomslayer. Let's be real, this actually would never happen because this game is just violent. Guys, if you don't know, Doom is the first ever first-person shooter. Actually, I'm sorry, Wolfenstein was. But then the same creators made Doom, and on CD-ROM it went viral. So it's really the most iconic first-person shooter. And it's my favorite video game, so I'm just biased. That is why I put it here, but it would never happen in Lego form. But imagine if it did. Wouldn't that be cool?
I don't see him ever getting his own set, but if there was a way for just his figure to appear in like a Video Game Legends CMF, or just like, I don't know, he's not in Smash, so he couldn't, his Mii costume is in Smash, so if there could be a Smash set or CMF that he could appear in, maybe. Or he'd have to appear in like an 18 plus diorama or something. You could have a diorama of just this picture you have here standing on top of skeletons. I mean, it's such an iconic figure, and many people love him. It would be really cool.
Yeah, maybe they could just do his. I feel like if they did a whole set, might be too satanic, like with his demons and everything. But just having his figure somehow, if there was a video game character CMF, he's super iconic. Have characters like him, and it probably would have to be non-Nintendo characters, but him and Lara Croft and whatnot would be pretty awesome. But yeah, it's just my favorite video game, so that's why I chose it. And thanks, Daniel, for letting it be the finale. But that's that. So we can only hope and pray at the end of the day.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited for the rest of this year. There still isn't anything announced that I'm like way excited for. I do really want the Mandalorian Starfighter, the N1. I think it's pretty cool. Way overpriced, but otherwise we'll hopefully see more cool stuff later in the year, like the new Star Wars stuff. Should be really cool.
Yeah, definitely got my eyes on some upcoming things, but guess we'll talk about it when we get it, and we'll do another ranking and another tier list and another top 10.
So cynical. Thank you for tuning in to the Sakuga Builds cast. We're grateful for your patronage and the fact that you have participated in this discussion with us. Please participate further if you can, and we will see you next time.
Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment. What video game character do you want to see in Lego? If you made it to the end, you're a real one. Comment the cake emoji if you made it to the end, and we'll know you're a real one for real. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Amen.